Hey, look at that. That's the oath, folks, right there. It's got my signature on it, as a matter of fact. We got to get your signature on it as well, and all the politicians. We're going to talk about that a little bit on the show today. Welcome, folks. Frank Bouchon here. It's Friday. Oh, is it freaking Friday? Oh, it's freaking Friday, all right. There is no doubt about that, ladies and gentlemen. The world is upside down, and I'm tired of the blood rushing to my head. And today we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about, look, we're going to talk about things, hopefully, that not everybody else is talking about. Apparently, there's a submarine boat thing that was built in a guy's garage that's a billionaire was on, and some other folks who paid $250,000 for a ticket to their death. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about stuff like that today, but I'm going to draw a different line for some other people who are buying a ticket as well, and they're dying, okay? And one we can control, the other one we cannot control, okay? But before we do that, I want to welcome Eric Thompson, the producer extraordinaire, to the show. How are you?
Doing well, and we have a lot of very interesting things to cover tonight.
Oh, we do. You have this thing formatted where it'll keep people at the edge of their seats.
As always.
But, it is Friday, folks. I remember when Friday meant something. I know that I'm breaking your format, but I'm going to bring this up. Just bear with me a second, Eric, okay?
You got it.
You remember when Fridays meant something? It was a big deal. Friday was like, it's Friday night. We're going out tonight. It's Friday night. And so I asked people that I'm around all the time at different places, go, hey, it's Friday. What you doing this Friday night? Well, I'm not going to do anything. All different ages. It's like, where's the excitement in the world? We gotta look, there's a lot of bad stuff going on, folks, but you gotta have date night. You gotta get out with your wife. You gotta get out with your husband. You gotta get out with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, your buddies, whatever. You gotta get out and have some fun. Don't let these wacko demonic times get you down that much that you're not going to enjoy the time you have on this earth, folks, because let me tell you something. That's what the enemy wants. But here we are today, Eric. We are in, it's Friday. What's the date today? Today is the 23rd. So we're creeping towards, half the year is over, right?
I can't believe it. Yep.
Half the year is over. But we're that much closer to the Biden administration being gone. Now that is something to be happy about. It's Friday. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. More positive. Because the bottom line is, folks, that there's a lot of great days coming as long as we do our job, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of great days coming. Through the grace of God in heaven, we will win. But before we do that, we're going to talk about, there's like this boat. What is it? This homemade submarine thing? What is it? I mean, I don't know a lot about it. But apparently a lot of people are talking about this billionaire and his son, and the son didn't want to go, but dad made him go for like this great day trip to the depths of 12,500 feet in a homemade submarine. Is that kind of the story? Do I have that right?
It's actually, I think, 4 billionaires and a 19-year-old.
4 billionaires.
I believe so. And then a 19-year-old son wanted to show his dad that he cared, and so he allowed his dad to talk him into going on in the tube.
The SS Minnow only had 1 millionaire. Okay,
I believe they were all wealthy
because it ended up on Gilligan's Island. This thing had 4 billionaires, and I'm not making light of the tragedy. It's tragic. There's no doubt about that. It's tragic, and they bought a ticket, and didn't they have to sign waivers?
A lot of waivers. You might die. Sign here. $250,000 per seat. Thank you.
I mean, is it eccentric? Absolutely. It's the same with the people flying up with those big rocket penises going up into space, or by Amazon and all that, and these people just got more money than they know what to do with. And they're spending a ton of money. In this case, they died. From what I understand, this machine that they are in wasn't the most advanced technology in the world. I mean, did this guy make it in his home? What do you know the backstory on that?
Yeah, it was a private company, and they made light of it in a video that they were using a Sony video game player controller to guide it and,
I
and
did
drive
hear
it.
that, but I will say this. I'll defend them in this aspect.
Yeah.
That the U.S. military uses the same thing to fly drones. So so you have soldiers flying drones using Xbox controllers.
A little more developed than what they. I think the question I had though is for you is, and you're going to get into other people that are buying tickets into the U.S., but
Yeah, ask me the question.
why do you think, being that you and I came from the 60s and the 70s, and Friday is no longer important to a lot of people because they live in this 24-hour news cycle, social media cycle. People aren't going to church anymore, but why do they allow 4, 5, 6 people dying in the ocean? Why does it affect them so much, as though they personally knew these people?
It's because it's in front of them and it's a bright shiny object and it's odd and it just fits the narrative of the world we live in today, that you got to be crazier and crazier to capture the headlines.
Yeah.
And since you asked me the question, I'm going to draw the parallel. You've got these very, very wealthy people who spend a tremendous amount of money, of $250,000 a piece in this case, to go on this modern day Titanic submarine. Bad story. And they bought a ticket. Well, it's great, but I don't want to talk about it anymore. What I want to talk about is the people buying tickets for $5,000. The people buying tickets every single day to come to the United States of America, and they die all the time. They're dying all the time, and they're not sipping expensive champagne at the time either. They can't show an entire portfolio of their life, of all the great things they've been to, all the islands, and they can't do any of that. These people bought a ticket as well, but we don't want to talk about them. We don't want to talk about the broken down policies of the United States of America. It is the United States of America's government's fault that these people die in the desert, and it is not something that is talked about enough. We got to talk about the submarine with the billionaires on it. And Eric, it's because, to answer your question, it's top of mind. It's glamorized. It's built up. Look how awesome this is. How wow and crazy. Look at that. And then it's like, oh my, why do people go to NASCAR? It to watch them go in an oval all the time? No, they want to see a crash every once in a while. Well, the media got the crash they wanted, and it's unfortunate that people died. It absolutely is. But you got people dying every single day because of a pathetic immigration policy. And an immigration policy, matter of fact, we have an immigration policy, by the way, folks. Okay, let's understand something. We have an immigration policy. It's called immigration law, and it's on the books right now. We just are not enforcing the laws that are on the books. Instead, what happens is they say we got to make new laws because immigration's broke. No, what's broke about immigration, ladies and gentlemen, and why it really pisses me off, that we don't focus in on the things, the media doesn't focus in on the things that it should be focusing in on, because it wants you distracted. It wants you to really believe that the most important thing in the news today is the submarine that they discovered that was imploded, that the government military knew days ahead, by the way, just so you know. That's coming out, that we have advanced technology, and they knew days ago, and they just let it play out. It's freaking Friday. Look, we have to understand something. We are living in a time where we have more data and more information thrown at us every single minute than in the 60s and 70s could have come at you in an entire day. And we can only absorb so much. And after a while, we shut down. And we also get a veneer on us, folks. And, more people are stressed today than any time. We have more people self-medicating than any time. We have more people unhappy than any other time. We have more people on psychotropic drugs, especially children, than any other time. We have more children being threatened with castration, either chemical castration or physical castration, than any other time. We have a border crisis in this country that is the greatest than any other time. We have millions and millions and millions of people that have come across the border. We don't know exactly how many. We guesstimate 5 to 6 million in the last 2.5 years. That is more by far than any time it's ever happened in any other time. Our healthcare is more expensive than any other time. Fuel is one of the highest that it's been than any other time. You only can go back to one other time, and what would that be? When it's been as high as the Biden administration. When would that be, folks? That would be the Obama administration. Do you see a parallel there? So what is going on? Well, what's going on is that people only have so much bandwidth. Okay. This show is being done, and I've come back on the air after years of being off because you are being hoodwinked. You are being lied to every single day, almost every single moment of your life. And that has to stop. And the people who are supposed to be defending you against the demonic people attacking you aren't doing their job. They're actually the ones helping to grow stories, blow stories out of proportion, though it is very interesting when a basically almost homemade submarine, billionaires pay to be on it, and tragically people die. That is a story, but it isn't even close, folks. It's not even close to the story of the millions of illegal aliens. And it is not their fault that we have created a magnet for the most desperate people on the face of the earth who obviously will do anything it takes to get out of their situation. And they feed into coyotes who kill these people for profit. See, that's something we can control. That's something that we can deal with. And unless we really start taking it seriously, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter that it's Friday. It doesn't matter that it's Saturday tomorrow. It just doesn't matter because there's really no good news, is there? Well, I think there's a lot of good news as long as we do our job. Eric, it's Friday. You and I talk when we're off the air. We look at our age bracket, and the world is obviously changed. And I'll stop now. I'm gonna turn to Eric, and Eric has a format some things he wants to talk about today, and there's some questions he wants to ask. But, ladies and gentlemen, my passion and my frustration, I feel it from you, because every day I'm out talking with people like you, and I am like you, and we together are going to fix this problem. So, Eric, what do we got going today? We got an hour show. Where do you want to start? I apologize. I will step down from my soapbox.
No, I obviously that is the submarine story is like a TikTok video where that's gone viral. Everybody's talking about it, but the question, I wish people had the same passion for this story. That we're getting down to the point now where there is really no doubt that Joe Biden was involved with Hunter Biden's business dealings.
100%. And
So,
I don't need this website to tell me that.
but here's what's interesting about it is now you have IRS whistleblowers, FBI whistleblowers.
Right.
So my question is, the whistleblower is admitting that the IRS kept saying, bring charges, Department of Justice, against Hunter.
And they said no.
And AG Garland said, we can't do that. We won't do that. So on this Freaky Friday, now that even more evidence is out, and there's even a text, what do you call that? Hunter was having was threatening a Chinese business partner.
Yeah, that's right.
Via his what do you call that? This little all this technology now. I can't even think about it. It was a messenger, WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So why isn't it? Why aren't people? I mean, is it simply the shiny object where the news just says we're going to blow up this submarine story for a week while the whistleblower is giving the most damaging information proving Joe Biden should be impeached? I mean, is Fridays, that? Are we going to hear about it?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, are we going to hear about it for a week? The fallout from the sub because they're hoping that this.
Absolutely. They're going to break down to the fragments that were there. The fragments that are fun. Folks, we've found fragments. They have high resolution video of the fragments. And those could be body parts, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen. They may have found body parts. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what TikTok does, right? It just gets you to flip the next one, flip the next one, flip the next one, flip the next one. The Biden situation that's going on that you're talking about right now, yes, it's absolutely 100% a fact that Joe Biden is absolutely corrupt as all get out. He's as corrupt a politician as you're ever going to get. And if you haven't noticed, he's not that smart, but he's very, very shrewd, and he's very, very vicious, and he's very, very demonic. You can see it in his actions. You can see all through his life. He's been in politics as long as I've been alive. And he's a multi-millionaire. His son is connected to him in all of this. He uses his son. Look, at some level, I got to say this, folks. At some level, Hunter Biden's a victim. That may not sit well with some of you, but he is. Because he was raised in an absolute pathetic family. A pathetic father who didn't care about anything but power and money and being able to have his way. The way he touches women, right? You see it all the time. Does anything happen to him? No. It's just a Saturday Night Live skit. But he does it because he's disgusting and he gropes. It's a great metaphor, folks. As he gropes these women, he's groping us as well. He believes he has power over us. He believes that, and it's not just him, by the way. He's just a puppet of the bigger system. He's just a extremely useful puppet for them because he doesn't care. He absolutely doesn't care. And if you want me to believe that I don't think he is as far gone mentally as people talk about. He is shrewd and diabolical. Politicians are actors, folks. Politicians are some of the greatest actors to ever live. And I would not doubt that there's times where he plays the part as this buffoon because he has to play the part. Now, that does not sound totally crazy to you, but when he has to hit the ball out of the park, for example, when he does his State of the Union, okay, he doesn't even come close to being the same buffoon as far as the way he speaks. Go back and watch the film. There's something going on. Some could say it's demonic, folks. Some could say that he's possessed. If we look, If we're a Christian nation, we believe that the devil exists, and we believe that what the Bible says, and I do. Well, then you know that demonic things are real, and you know that the devil is having his way right now. Some of the things we're going to talk about today, Eric, I think, if I remember you going over the show with me before, is that we've got drag queen. We got to go to CraigBouchonShow.com. You got drag queen. What was the story? Let's talk about a demonic situation that's going on right now in this fallen world that we're in.
Real quick, let me get your feedback on this real
good.
quick on the Hunter story.
Sorry, I'm going to back out of this rabbit hole.
No, but think about it. Do you think the people that are fascinated on this sub, that they feel like they're on a boat and they're just kind of going along on this journey of horror? Because the whistleblower said that Henry Zhou, a Chinese Communist Party official, okay, he got a text from Hunter on a WhatsApp. Yep. It's an application on July 30th of 2017 when Trump's in office.
Yeah.
And this is what he told him. It's just a Communist Party official he's texting to. I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me, the former vice president, and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I'm sitting here waiting for the call with my father. So that my question is this, and then we'll get to those stories because we have a lot of Friday here. Why is it only a couple women in the House that are calling for Biden's impeachment? We got all this proof. We got whistleblowers from the DOJ. We got whistleblowers from the IRS.
Because in this case, the women are stronger than the men. The women haven't sold themselves out. The women care more than the men do. The women haven't been bought off. The women aren't afraid. The women are using the same strength that they have when they give birth. Because if a man had to give birth, there'd be no people in the world.
That's right.
Okay? They're stronger than those men, obviously. They are not afraid of what's going to happen to them. Why? Because what's ingrained inside their DNA is life itself. They give birth to life is inside the DNA of women. And the protection, what they call it, that motherly instinct.
A mother bear, whatever you call it.
That's right. They are not afraid. They're willing to stand in front of the metaphoric firing squad of the media and the rhinos and take it. They're not going to back down. And that's where we come in. Eric, that's where we come in. This is where shows like this come in and the citizens come in. And you got to, how do you get behind those politicians? You get behind those politicians by showing up, by voting. Okay? We're going to talk about that a little bit later with American, but that's why, Eric, because they're stronger. You've got people like Ted Cruz that are out there. There's others, but Ted Cruz is pushing back a lot. He's in
the Senate, so we've got two.
He is.
We got Bo Birch from Colorado, and we got Green, and then the men, the rhinos, McCarthy are like, you're not going through our proper procedures. When
right.
We got everyone saying Joe took the money. He's the big guy. The whistleblower from the IRS said they wanted charges. Guilty, guilty, guilty. And it's a Friday, and everyone's going to be talking about the homemade sub with the billionaires that died instead of the hundreds of thousands of people that are still heading toward the U.S. to come across illegally.
And dying.
And some are dying, and some are getting a lot of women getting raped. I think it was 90% of the girls were getting raped during that huge migration by the cartel.
Yeah.
And so it's just craziness is what we've got to calm down the craziness as we move forward together as a unit, unified group here, because the craziness is a tool of the enemy.
Focused Focused negative energy can be a very, very strong weapon against the enemy. Focusing, because look, people are pissed off because we could see constantly this double standard, and we could see constantly that things you go, oh, they got them now. They got them now. I
Right.
mean, come on. They've got them now. And it never happens. And then this slap in the face, this kick in the somewhere, where was it yesterday, where, Biden's just about, Hunter is, he's just going to plead and we're going to kind of just let him off. And that's, folks, like, that's just the way it works. It's just the way it works. You just need to go and look at the submarine. Did you see the submarine? Did you see the submarine, folks?
Right.
No. We have to understand that these people are purposely bombarding us. Fridays are commonly known for when bad news is going to be dropped on Fridays. And then because they think the weekend, people are going to run through the weekend, they're going to drink beer and have margaritas and do whatever they're going to do. And come Monday, they just, they're just going to forget about it. And traditionally, unfortunately, it's true because we are not minding the store. So that story, that leads me to my frustration. I want to talk about the transgender men and the children, reading them stories. And you have churches now that are constantly allowing this type of demonic stuff to happen. It's all connected, folks. It's all connected. Every bit of it. And we have got to stand up, just like these House members, these women are doing. We need to back them. Okay, what else we got? Otherwise, I'm going to go down I'm just going to plow through some rabbit holes today.
Well, we're going to do, I think we're going to take a deep breath.
Let me take a break.
Take a deep breath. And we get back, we're going to have a little bit of fun.
Where's my pillow?
We're going to watch some,
pillow?
Yeah, we're going to watch some videos here about some craziness going on. And we are going to talk about maybe the reality of the trans movement that a lot of people don't want to talk about, which is on the CraigBouchon.com website, and we'll get to that too. So we'll be right back.
Thank you, folks.
Made it right. Suddenly I see the light. Now when I'm walking home to you.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success, and now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
Well, welcome back, folks. Hey. Okay. I almost went and got my pillow. I'm serious. I'm not kidding you. It's Friday. It's freaking Friday. It's Crack Friday. I mean, look, we are living in a day today that is, to me, exciting. We have our opportunities, and we are going to learn together how to battle back against these things that are attacking us all the time. And you can go to CraigBouchonShow.com. You can go to AmericaICan.com. I want to make sure we talk about that today, Eric. We have to focus the folks on how they can help, Marjorie Taylor Greene and others battle what's going on today. So, Eric, what do we got going? Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to you right now. Set the format. Ask me the questions. I'm all yours. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we know that Ted Cruz has been a supporter of what you've been doing, and this was an interesting. Cruz lately has just been shredding the nominees from Biden when they come up to get confirmed.
Yeah,
and Ted he asked a Democrat who was up for a nomination the same question times, but she couldn't answer it. So I thought we would watch it and get your commentary on.
She wouldn't answer it.
How did it?
It won't answer.
Well,
it.
you're gonna hear her try to come up with clarification questions. He's just like, it's a very simple question, and here we go. Here is the question. The question was: is there a difference between women and men? And this is a nominee. And he just wants to just get a yes or no answer.
We have a
from
Supreme
her.
Court justice that couldn't answer that question. Go ahead.
That's right.
So, go ahead.
It was a landmark civil rights law. It helped create the incredible breadth of women's sports and girls' sports that we see across the country. I believe in girls' sports. I believe in women's sports. I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who are both athletes. I think participating in competitive sports is a wonderful thing for a young girl. I think it is a wonderful thing for a woman. And I think, unfortunately, today's Democrat Party has decided that women's sports and girls' sports no longer matters, and they're willing to push radical legislation designed to destroy girls' sports and women's sports. Ms. Gaines, I want to thank you for your courage. You are relatively young, but you have demonstrated incredible courage. And because you have dared to speak up, you have been demonized, you have been vilified. I saw when you were attacked by a leftist mob at San Francisco State University for daring to speak up. You had an incredible record as a swimmer at the University of Kentucky. You were a 2-time NCAA All-American. You were a 5-time SEC champion. You're an SEC record holder and a 2-time Olympic trial qualifier. But yet on March 27th, 2022, something changed. What happened on March 17th, 2022?
That's when Thomas and I raced in the 200 freestyle and again resulted in a tie.
And so you tied. What was the consequence of tying?
We went behind the awards podium where typically you're handed your trophy, you're marched out, you're named an All-American. And so we go back there and the official looks at both Thomas and myself and says, "Great job, but you guys tied. And we only have one trophy, therefore we're giving this trophy to Leah." And I question this and I say, why? And at first I shortened it in my testimony, but really he stumbled on his words. He didn't know how to answer this. And at first he's
Okay, so Craig, let me ask you this. Okay, so this is that woman college swimmer.
Yeah.
And she's going to speak first, and then Cruz is going to ask the human whatever title. I'll get her title, but so what happens was Gaines got beat by or tied Leah Thomas. Remember the guy that swam as a woman? Well, it sounds like they tied, so they gave the trophy to the guy.
Yes. Well, it's because, and you say why it happened. They do it because the pressure is that if you don't do it, you're going to be fired. That's why. behind the scenes, they talk about this. This isn't something just happens on accident. This is a strategy. This is an on-purpose strategy by the enemy. In the same way that there's ESG, environmental social governance, which is connected to all of this, folks. All of this. It's about changing the culture of society. And they're so brazen now that they don't even care that it doesn't make sense. They don't even care that you know that it's wrong. They don't care. They believe they have so much power now that they don't have to answer to you. So the reason Gaines could not get that trophy is because the people in charge didn't want her to have it. Just that simple. It's not a matter of right and wrong. It's about agenda. It's about pain. It's about breaking your will. And then them basically saying, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Well, we can see some pushback has happened. You can see what's happened with Budweiser. You can see what's happened with Target. You can see that there are, that when the American citizen focuses, they can do some real damage. But that's why, Eric.
So yeah, so
Because they
Riley
can.
Gaines is national champion, and she did a race with a man who says he's a woman, and they tied, and she says, okay, what do we do, Judge? Oh, we give the trophy to the man.
That's right.
Going to take away your award as a woman. So Cruz, he's telling, okay, she's explaining this, and then now we're going to hear from Kelly Robinson in a few minutes here from the Human Rights Campaign. So,
right there. I don't even know. I haven't heard this.
Can you believe that?
But them saying Human Rights Campaign right there, it's not going to be about human rights.
So how can a Human Rights Campaign president, Kelly Robinson, have problems explaining, is there a difference between a man and a woman? And it gets crazy here. So we'll continue here. Now, Cruz is so Gaines says, she's explaining she just got the trophy taken away.
Yeah.
Well, we're just doing this in chronological order. To which I further
go ahead and blow it up so people can see it better.
And I said, okay, well, what are you being chronological about? We're doing this off alphabetical order. G comes before T. So what are you being chronological about? To which this wasn't a script they had prepared for him. And he actually appreciated his honesty. He did say, we have to give the trophy for Leah because Leah has to have it for pictures. They've made that clear.
Wow.
Leah has to have the trophy for pictures.
Yes, it's predetermined.
You can pose with
He
this
knew.
trophy, but you have to give yours back to go home empty-handed. Leah Thomas takes the trophy home. End of story.
Now, let me ask you, as someone who's competed at the elite level, in your experience, is there a difference between women and men?
Of course. I think we learned this at a very young age, watching even 12 and unders play. Going through puberty causes irreversible advantage, that no matter the training, no matter the diet, no matter any alterable change you can make, will overcome that male advantage. Especially in sports like swimming, where lung capacity matters so much. Even something as silly as throat size, men have on average a 40% larger throat, which sounds like it's nothing. But when you're grasping for air, that 40% larger throat makes a huge difference in athletic success, not to mention height. You guys know the differences.
Ms. Robinson, do you agree with Ms. Gaines that there's a difference between women and men?
If the question is about trans women,
I'm just asking, is there a difference between women and men?
what I can say here is that the NCAA has rules in place. They've had rules in place for the last decade, and when this competition happened,
I'm going to try again.
the rules were clear.
Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? It's a yes/no question. Do you believe there's a difference?
Oh, I think that we're talking about this case with the NCAA.
No, I'm asking a question.
Oh my
Do you
God.
believe there's a difference between women and men? Most people could answer this very simply. I'm curious if you're willing to do so.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just putting it into the context of the
Is that a yes?
conversation that we're having. I think that there are definitions related to sex.
Is
but
that
I
a
also
yes?
think
So I'm
that when
trying to
we're-
get a yes or no. I'm not trying to get a speech.
I'm
Is there a difference between women and men?
I think that there are definitions for biological sex.
Okay, so you're
which
not
is
answering
different
that.
than
Let me ask
gender.
you this question then. Why do women's sports exist? If you can't define a difference between women and men, why not abolish women's sports and just tell little girls to swim with little boys and see who wins?
Oh, I'm simply saying that that sex is
My
different
question,
than gender.
why
and I do believe that
women's
sports have
sports
a great
exist?
value. I mean, Senator, I'll tell you right
Ms.
now.
Robinson, please answer the question I'm asking you.
Absolutely.
Why do women's sports exist?
I think that there are so many positive
She's
benefits
incapable.
to sports.
But
I mean,
why have a
we talked
separate
about it here
category for
today.
women? If there's no difference between women and men, why to have women's sports?
I'm saying that there's a difference between sex and gender, and that the NCAA has rules in place.
Okay, so what do you did you see? She did. Sex and gender. That's a Friday. So if you go back to the 70s and 80s when we were growing up, this would be like the Twilight Zone. Is there a difference between men and women? Well, you know, depending upon if there was
They do this because they get away with it.
That's right.
The only reason they do it is because they get away with it. That's it. They're immature. They're juvenile. They're out of control. It doesn't mean that they're not vicious because they are. Okay? These people have an agenda. Just like with that shocked judge. I don't know what to say, except I have to do it. That's what I said, right? That's what I said before we even played the clip. I hadn't even seen the clip. I already predicted it. He had to do it, or he's going to get fired. Just that simple. It's an agenda. That's it. It's called position of power, folks. P-O-P, pop, position of power. And these people have put themselves in position, these horrible human beings have put themselves in positions within our education system, within our government, within, at some levels, in your local law enforcement as well, right? They get away with it because you and I have not been holding them accountable. So you see Senator Cruz. Senator Cruz is pushing back, and it's obvious that that person is incapable of answering because they are absolutely brainwashed. See, I truly believe she believes what she's saying, by the way, folks. Make no mistake. She's a product of this agenda that's been going on for decades now, folks, in our education system. This stuff happens because they have been groomed this way. While the average American has been going to work, husband and wife, man and woman, been going to work and dropping the kids off at daycare, dropping the kids off at school early so they have the early breakfast before they can even school even starts, and then pick them up a little bit later because thank goodness the school runs a little bit later and they have a little daycare and I can pick it up later. Why? Because the parents aren't raising the kids. Parents are not raising the kids. It's just that simple. So
well, look. So here, so that drives us. I mean, that takes us into the next story here on
segue. Look at this.
See, so okay, so what is the manifestation of 12 years or 16 years of being educated by these type of can't answer a question? So we're going to watch a video here. A graduate, and you know, when you walk by and they say congratulations, and everybody takes their turn. Student is going to wrestle and grab the microphone away from the official because she said, you didn't let me get my moment. Today it's going to be all about me at this graduation. So this is that generation. This is be the kind of person that's so brainwashed they think they can publicly make a fool of themselves, and she's going to tell the crowd that it was a viral TikTok video, shows a female graduate wrestling a microphone.
Of fame.
Yep. And she said, you didn't give me my moment. So now it's going to be all about me. So here is the clip. And I can't imagine doing this in my lifetime. I don't care how weird I was. But here she is actually wrestling, grabbing, freaking out the crowd. You got the security guard doesn't know what to do. He just
you think?
What? Why is she? What?
What's going on here?
I'm getting minimum wage. I'm not supposed to actually tackle this girl at this graduation. So here it is. Here we'll get to the actual video here, and we can. All right, here we go.
Let go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is Khadija Tadiano, and I'm graduating today. Hey! don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today is gonna be all about me.
Oh, drops the mic. Congratulations!
Okay, so what do you think of the parents or whoever
That's a person that's
was
never
ever
had to
recording
pay.
that for her?
That person has never had to pay for that type of outburst their entire life. That attitude that woman had, she's been able to have for a very, very long time, and it's manifested into this space where she believes she could do it anywhere because she's never been held accountable. Never been held accountable. That's as simple as it is. It's a spoiled brat, is what it is. It's simple to figure out, folks. When you don't raise your kids and you teach them wrong morals and ethics, and you make them believe that they have more power than they do, and they get to grow up that they deserve because they're there. You don't have to earn a grade. You don't get an F anymore. You get a do not pass. Did not pass.
Just
what? Yes.
A participation
All
trophy.
those
Just for
things.
Yeah.
This is what you get. This is what metastasizes in your society. And this is nothing, folks, to where it's going. Make no mistake. If we don't stop this, and that's why I'm glad that we're seeing people push back. It's not all bad news, folks. There's a lot of people out there pushing back. It's getting more and more and more. There's no doubt about it. But there's so much more to do. So much more to do. Because the enemy is not done. The enemy is not done because it wants absolute destruction. Okay. Hey, the Blaze Media. I love the Blaze Media. I shared a station, 98.9, The Big Talker, years ago in Austin, Texas, with Mr. Glenn Beck. Big fan of him.
Well, Dave over there at the Blaze, he wrote an article that says a gay man claimed he was set on fire in a hate crime attack. But the cops say the video actually shows that he was beating up a pregnant woman who fought back with a flame, which burned him. So another Smollett moment where he's calling the police at midnight. Oh, I got attacked because I'm homosexual. Well, then they're like, well, here's how the news reported down in San Diego on, what really happened. And what is the culture? What's happening in the culture that people don't mind lying to the police and making up stories to try to get people in trouble and to try to get a few seconds of glory.
It's worth it. It's a small price to pay for. They look at Smollett. Look at all the stuff he got. He got more people caring about him in that amount of time before he got caught than most people ever have in their whole lifetime. So the trade-off is worth it to them. And then what really happens to them in the end? Because that's really what it's all about. What happens to them when they're caught that they were lying? Go ahead. Let's watch this thing. I'm sure this is going to be so. Is there a video on this thing? Okay.
Yeah, this is a channel. This is a KGTV, and they're tell you what really happened. And it wasn't a hate crime. Here's what happened.
San Diego police now say the man started the whole thing and attacked a pregnant woman. For that, we go to our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo, who joins us live in studio now with this new information. Laura, police say they have to investigate all allegations here.
Yeah, Wale, that's what they are telling us. They are calling this a complex investigation, but say there is video that shows the man first assaulting a pregnant woman. SDPD says that video is not being released because it is considered evidence as this investigation continues. On Monday, Scott Rowan showed his burn injuries to ABC 10 News, saying he'd been set on fire in what he described as a targeted attack.
Oh, this was absolutely a hate crime.
Rowan, who is gay, said he had left the loft on 5th after asking about a job when he heard what sounded like two people shouting gay slurs.
That word came up quite a bit.
Then he says a liquid was thrown on him. He shared these pictures of his injuries.
Immediately after that, I went up kind of like coals on a barbecue.
But a release from SDPD Wednesday night tells a different story. According to police, they got a call that night of a man attacking a pregnant woman. Officers arrived, but the suspect was nowhere to be found. The woman was bleeding and had multiple injuries. About an hour later, SDPD says they got another call from a man reporting someone had set him on fire. Investigators determined the man with the burn injuries was the suspect in the attack on the pregnant woman.
Okay, so it's a Freaky Friday. So this guy attacks a pregnant woman, beats her. She's all bloody. So she throws some chemical on him to get him off, and then he goes and calls the police and says, "I was attacked for being a homosexual and 2 people." I guess my question is, or my observation is, if since there's no shame to be a liar, to be a thief in California, where I just moved from, you can go rob up to $750. It's not even a crime anymore. That is what it looks like when it's lawless, and people need to have this vile hatred of dishonesty and corruptness in this movement that you're putting on with, or that you're leading in the American, because this guy should be ostracized with a big G on his back the rest of his life, a scarlet G, a lying G, for making it up.
These people are, I hate to say it this way, but it's just the truth. As wacko as that guy is, he's also a victim at some level of what you would say. What was he a victim of? Of a society that has allowed, a people in this country have allowed society to degrade at this level. These people have mental issues. Many of these people need to be institutionalized. Many of these people need to have therapy. Many of these people have undiagnosed mental issues, and they play out in many, many different ways. And that's because we have very, very bad politics in this country. We have very, very bad healthcare as far as getting access to it. Not the amount of money that's spent on it. It's the right access to it. So, Eric, the thing that we're dealing with in this country is a fundamental breakdown of the infrastructure of the United States of America, because it really goes all the way back to what Benjamin Franklin said. It seems like every show I get to say it. We have given you a republic if you can keep it. Well, thank God there was video, because if there was no video, this poor woman would have had a lot harder time pleading her case. No doubt about that. So there's good news in this story, folks. He got caught. That's huge. He got caught. But the bigger question is, what's going to happen to him? That's the thing. These people can get caught. Hunter Biden got caught. He pleaded guilty. But what happened to him? You see, it's about the repercussions of doing the bad behavior, not just getting caught doing the bad behavior. It's what happens to these people. And that's where you and I come in, folks. That's where we have to take the bull by the horns, as they say. We have to grab the reins to this out of control chariot. We have got to stay engaged. We have got to understand how to unite together. How do we do that? How do we team up? Well, Eric's got it pulled up right now, AmericaICan.com. American, you'll see the logo there, American, that Liberty Torch. The Liberty Torch is about you and I, folks. It's about our free will. It's about our sovereignty. It's about who we are as individuals. It's the power that God instilled in every one of us is our free will. One person, one vote. Okay? The torch itself is a flame, right? Lady Liberty has one. But the torch symbolizes us. That flame must burn bright, okay? And it cannot be allowed to go out. So the Liberty Torch is us. We must be strong, and we must fight, and we must be determined. The big C, can, you'll see it's bold, capital C right after that torch, spells can, because the Liberty Torch means you and I can, you can, we can. Together, we can make a difference, and only together can we do it? We have got to understand in a representative republic, it's when we show up and we vote collectively and we're focused and we're determined. Okay. Let me talk a little bit about fire real quick. How much time we got here? We got a few
About
minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
Let me tell a little story. I'm going to tell you a story about fire. Okay. Let's take the strongest magnifying glass. I'm trying to remember who taught me this years ago. Could have been Zig Ziglar, maybe, as a matter of fact. But this story is a great story. And you can have the brightest sunny day. Okay, you could be in the hottest part of the country on the hottest day and have the driest kindling, and you could have it on the ground, folks. And you could have the kindling sitting right there. The only thing you got to do is start a fire, folks. The only thing you have to do is start a fire. What do you got? You got a very, very high-powered magnifying glass. You have dry kindling right in front of you. You have the sun that's right there, and you can focus it, right? Sun right through the prism of that magnifying glass. And you want to focus, right? And you have all the things that it takes. We have all the things that it takes, ladies and gentlemen, to light the fire of liberty, to defend this country. We have the great power of the sun. We have the strongest magnifying glass, and we have this dry kindling. But ladies and gentlemen, we will never start a fire if we don't take time to hold that magnifying glass, focus it, keep it still. Don't allow it to keep moving around, because we got to harness that sun, ladies and gentlemen. We focus that energy. And only when we focus that energy do all three things work together and we get fire. Focus, ladies and gentlemen. We have everything that we need in our Bill of Rights and in our Constitution to keep the fire burning. And these people, their job, the enemy, is to put that out, to eliminate the fire of liberty, to eliminate the fire of an American citizen. We are different. We have done more to change the world for the positive than any country in the history of the world. We are different. Going to AmericaICan.com, I used to have this one on the wall. I have the other one on the wall because I think you can see it better. And we're doing some changing in the studio, by the way, and I'm excited about it, and that's coming soon. But this is my personal oath. I don't know if you can make that bigger. There you go. There's my personal oath right there. I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the citizen of the United States of America. If the candidate I vote into office is found to have broken their oath, I will work to remove them from office by impeachment or repeal. So help me God. Solemn declaration. And that is my signature right there. That's my signature. This happens to be one particular style that I like. We have wooden ones as well. But that signature, it's a constant reminder of me of the promise that I've made as a citizen of the United States of America. And we have a candidate oath as well. And we must reignite ourselves, focus that magnifying glass on that kindling, and harness that sun and start this fire, folks. And the way we're going to do it is together. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to fix this problem, folks, without going to a revolution, because that's where it's going to end up being. If we don't figure out a way to use what our founders gave us in our Constitution, there will be a day when tyranny will get to such a place that there will be a revolution. Can't tell you what that revolution will look like, but it's not going to be good. It's not something that you want. The time is now to unite. The time is now to sign the oath. The time is now to get the politicians to sign the oath. The time is now. when you see that politician wear that American pin, okay, and you know they signed the oath, and they know you signed the oath, that's a connection, folks. That's what it's going to take. Period. Because today is, Freaky Friday. We're blessed to have it. I'm blessed to have you tune in every day. And we're going to see you on Monday. And we'll just see what the world brings. But for now, say your prayers. Take care of each other. And we'll see you Monday. God bless.